All right, so mini class number 1 on the oils of your premium starter kit. Okay, so a lot of you guys have oils already. Some of you are waiting for your oils and some of you haven't ordered them yet. But frankincense, I know it's backward on there, but frankincense is one of the oils that's going to come in your starter kit. Okay, so let's talk about frankincense because, well, number 1, this is the oil everybody requested to be talked about first. Okay, it's that good, that's why. But number 2, I think it's the oil people are wondering about the most. It's the oil that people get in their kit and they look through all their oils and they kind of smell them and they know what to do with lavender, and everybody knows what lemon is, and you know, peppermint, obviously, right? All of that is familiar. But frankincense, it's like, I think I read about that in the Bible once, and then things from the Bible tend to scare people half the time, which is sort of sad. Poor frankincense, he's so great. So I'm going to tell you about how great he is and why we love Frank so much. Okay, so let me just make sure, yep, we are in the right spot. If you have questions about frankincense in particular, because this is a mini class on frankincense, really professional, because here I am in my bedroom on the floor. Basically, I'm hiding from children. That's what I'm doing in here. So anyway, if you have questions about frankincense during this class, please write them in the comments so that I can maybe try to get to them, or at least direct you to a place that you can find answers about Frank, okay? So I'm gonna call him Frank because we're on a first name basis. So Frank is the first name, and incense is the last name. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted because I'm trying to get my comments, if there are any, to come up on the screen. Okay, so frankincense. What even is frankincense? Well, it is an essential oil. Here it is. It smells so good. Get it out if you have it near you and smell it. It smells like fresh but woodsy, kind of like sticks, but really great sticks. So good, and so good for your brain health. Okay, so we're going to talk about why. I've got my little notes here, so I'm going to be reading from my notes so I don't forget anything. Okay, so frankincense. It is distilled from the resin, which is like almost like a sap-like substance that comes and leaks out of the tree, frankincense tree. And it's this gnarly looking tree, and maybe I will post a picture of what it looks like. It's really cool. And we get our particular frankincense from the Oman, which is in the Middle East. And it's fantastic. It grows there natively, so it's like that's where we want it to come from, a place where it grows natively. And so we get that oil from the resin, which is the sap of the frankincense tree, which is really cool because we don't have to harvest the tree to get the oil. We just get the sap off the tree, get the oil, and then that tree can keep on producing the resin, which gives us our frankincense. So really awesome. Frankincense and pretty much all essential oils have, or many essential oils have, little itty bitty tiny molecules that can pass through the blood-brain barrier. Blood-brain barrier is a barrier in your brain that protects your brain against large molecules of toxins that could come in, right? So a lot of medications that are on the market now can't go through the blood-brain barrier, and that's kind of a problem because labs can't make molecules small enough to pass through that blood-brain barrier. So that's one thing that frankincense has, is that it's small enough to pass through that blood-brain barrier, and it is therapeutic every single time. One thing about essential oils is that when you put them on, it's not going to be wrong. That's the thing, is like essential oils work synergistically and symbiotically with your body. So when you put them on or in or around or smell, they are going to do the thing they're supposed to do. Even if it's not like maybe the perfect oil for whatever you're trying to address or cause to happen, they're still going to cause good things to happen in your body and make your body work optimally. So frankincense is fantastic for the brain, okay? Brain health. That's what I always want you to think about when it comes to Frank, although it's good for lots of other things too, but let's think about the brain. Okay, so what's in it? Passes through the blood-brain barrier, monoterpenes. I want you to Google these if you're super interested in this kind of stuff and you really, really like to research and want to know more and more. Here's what you're going to Google. Monoterpenes, A-pinene, L-limonene, okay? think we hear a lot about D-limonene, but L-limonene is what's in Frank, and sesquiterpenes. Okay, so all of those things are really good for your body, basically. And I'm not going to go into what each one of those are, but those are some components that are in frankincense. Monoterpenes are super relaxing. They're like more of a cooling effect on the body, kind of bring you down a little bit. And they're really, really calming. Sesquiterpenes are the super calming components of frank. So if you want something that's going to make you feel calm and cool and collected and not jittery, frankincense is what's going to do it. And honestly, the best way to affect your brain with frankincense is to smell it, okay? So if you've got it diffusing, or you just take a minute, I gotta do that again, and you just smell from the bottle. You could even put one drop in the hand, cup over nose and mouth, and inhale deeply. And that's how you can get some really good grounding, calming, I mean, I feel it, effects from frankincense. Feels so good. And then I'm just gonna like use that leftover and put it all over because it's great for your skin as well. So a really great place to put frankincense also, other than inhaling, is to put it kind of by your brain stem, because it is so good for the brain. So kind of just back by the brain stem and just kind of let that soak in, because you've got those little tiny molecules all over your hands still. Never, never, never let an oil go to waste. Like if you are going to cup it and, you know, put it on your hands and then cup it over your nose and mouth, there's still oil there. So definitely use that up. Put it on your face or, you know, wherever, okay? This spot is the third eye. It's another really good spot for frankincense and brain health. Okay, so brain health. So that, now we kind of know what's in it. Oh, frequency. I wanted to talk about oils and frequency. So I don't know tons and tons about this. You know, there's so many things that we could delve more into if I had all the minutes in the world, but I don't. I wish I did. But frequencies are really cool. So there are frequencies that your body runs on. They're like kind of like an electro sort of frequency. Your heart has a certain frequency. Your brain vibrates on a certain frequency. When you are well, your body vibrates on this certain high frequency. When you are ill, it vibrates on a lower frequency. And when you are dead, yeah, dead people have a really, really low frequency, like 0. Okay, so this is a thing. This is scientific. So all essential oils, oops, I just left this without its cap on. Always put your cap back on your oils, because good things can like come out into the air and you lose them. Okay, so all essential oils vibrate on a certain frequency, and so they respond to whatever body system correlates with that frequency the best. So brain is really good, also the immune system. So frankincense has one of the highest frequencies of all of the essential oils. So it's going to raise your frequency, which, what does that mean? It's going to raise your wellness level on all veins, okay? Okay, so why are we going to use it? So we know what's in it. If you want to Google those components, do it. Why are we using it? It is calming, like I said, but also uplifting to your emotions. It aids in brain health, and I can't say all of the things that it does for your brain, but it is so good for your brain. One drop on your thumb and then push to the roof of your mouth for like 5 seconds. Just kind of let it sit there. So great for the brain health. Goes directly to the brain, okay? You will even feel yourself waking up and becoming more alert and more calm at the same time. Really great. Steadying. It is steadying. Because it's so good for your brain, it steadies you for shakiness, for dizziness. If you're experiencing any of those things or just feeling unsteady, get your frankincense out and smell it, okay? I promise this will work. I have experienced that firsthand. Lung and respiration. So respiratory health. It is great for opening things up. So opening up the airways. Jamie using it right now. See, it's so good. You guys really comment if you've got anything to say. But opening up your airways. I just learned that it's called the singer's oil. I didn't know that. I just knew that it was like my boyfriend oil. That's all I knew. I mean, like, I love frankincense. Somebody just said in a video I was watching about frank as I was preparing for this, that it is the singer's oil, because if you kind of like put it on your throat, or if you kind of put it on your tongue or to the back of your throat, it opens up all of those airways and makes things really, I don't know, passable and large, and just opens you all up. So it's great for respiratory health. So remember that. Diffusing and just inhaling are perfect for respiratory health application. Okay, it is a heart tonic. Like I said, it's great for so many things. Like, basically, when in doubt, if you're like, I don't know what oil to use for this certain whatever, use frankincense. This is the oil that sits in people's poor little kits, unopened, uncracked, because they don't know what to do with it, or it just like goes back in the box after they smelled it one time and they just are done with it because they're just not sure, because it sounds intimidating and it's different, you know. So get this one out and use it, use it, use it. If you can incorporate this into your daily routine in any way, your wellness is going to be at a higher level. Okay, so it's good for all of your systems. So it's a great heart tonic. So put it over the heart. Okay, great for an immune boost, like I said, and it's one of those oils that's boosting for the immune system and gentle enough for babies, like all the way down to infants, very, very new infants, all the way up to the elderly people. So some oils are a little bit too intense, and they're great for the immune system, but they're intense to use on babies or elderly. Frankincense, undiluted, just put it on them, is totally safe for the littlest of the little and the oldest of the old, okay? So, good, good, good. Elisa says she uses it every day. Give her all the yeah, I know, frankincense is fantastic. For your skin. Okay, so this was given to the Christ child, right? We know that from the biblical story. For the purpose of, you guys, they used it for, well, for holy ceremonies, but also for embalming. Embalming. So if you think about the embalming process, which I don't really know much about, but I can tell you that I know it preserves things. And if you want your skin to be preserved, you should use frankincense. If you are ready to glow, put some frankincense on your skin, okay? So 1 drop. I like it at nighttime, but also in the morning, because it just really it really brightens up the face, evens out the skin tone. There's some words I can't say that it really helps with skin health, like former injury, and now that's showing on your skin. You want to use it for that. Great for occasional irritation and cell regeneration. Okay, so all things skin, go to your frankincense. Lavender's another great one for that, but definitely for skin, do the frank. Okay, immune boosting, gentle for babies, detoxifying. Okay, really great for detoxing your cells and your liver and all that stuff. Releases negative emotions and trauma. This is the #1 oil to have if you are dealing with trauma, okay, or occasional anxiety or any of that. Like I said, it is really grounding, really calming. So you want to use the frankincense for that. And for loss and grief. Okay, so that's why we're going to use it. How are we going to use it? I gave you some ideas already, but inhalation is the best for the brain, like I said. So diffusing, or just cupping and inhaling, or even just huffing straight out of the bottle. That is a technical term that we use. Huffing. Yeah, that's what we do. And the reason is because when you smell something in. When you breathe something in and you smell it, your olfactory system is right here, like way back in here, right? And it kind of goes, olfaction is your nose, it's your sense of smell. Your olfactory system is straight smack in the middle of your brain. So it is going to get to your limbic system, which is the center of moods and emotions, really quickly. So it affects that first. So that's why it's calming. That's why it's so effective, okay? That's why oils are really, really effective for mood. Mood regulation. Okay, for skin, put it in your moisturizer. Whatever moisturizer you're using, if any, put a drop. I wouldn't put it like in your big moisturizer container. I would do like a drop of moisturizer, however much you use every day, and then a drop of frankincense, just so you get that, it's fresh in there, and you get it, make sure every little drop gets on your skin instead of just like stuck in your moisturizer container. So you can do that, or you can just put it on straight right before you put your moisturizer on. So when you're gonna nourish your skin, let's say you're layering a few different products, like let's say you have a thin oil like frankincense. You'll notice that different oils have different viscosities, so they come out faster or slower. So frankincense is a pretty thin oil. It comes out pretty quickly. You want to put on oils or products that are thinner to thicker. So use your frankincense first because it's nice and thin, and then put on your thicker moisturizer, and then maybe like your serum that you have next, and layer things by thickness so that you're not putting a thin thing like frankincense over a really thick moisturizer and it can't get through to your skin. Making sense? Okay. I even have friends, and I myself have put the roller that you got in your kit. It's down underneath the bottom of the kit. That little roller ball, they've put it on the frankincense because they love their frank so much, and roll it on their face. So that's a super easy way to apply. Like I said, the drop pushed to the roof of your mouth for about 5 seconds, opens up that brain, goes straight to the brain. So good for you. What else, guys? Yoga. We use it for yoga. So diffuse it. You can apply it during yoga. Kind of put it like here on your chest so that you can smell it. You can put it on your hands and cup over, or just have it diffusing in the air. Like I said, it's really spiritually uplifting, so it's great for a yoga practice. And, oh, okay, so here's how I used my frankincense. So I, after one of my babies, I noticed that, like I was in that early postpartum period, and I noticed that my bleeding was a little bit different. Sorry to all of the sensitive or the guys out there, but it's real life. So the bleeding was a little bit different postpartum, like as in more. And so I decided that I needed something, and I didn't have the classic oil for that, you know, the uterine health after birth, which is helichrysum. I didn't have that one in my little oily arsenal at that point. So I was like, I don't know what to use. And I just knew frankincense was my boyfriend, and I just like knew he was so great. And I knew that he could like take care of all my needs. Yeah, I went there. So I put a drop or two of frankincense on my lower abdomen, and I did that about 3 or 4 times a day. And after day 2 of that little protocol that I kind of just made up myself because I just knew I love frankincense, I really noticed a big change, and things were a lot healthier afterward. So seriously, when in doubt, just put on the Frank. He always knows what to do. Newborn anointing, so brand new babies, if it's going to be so good for that brain, right, and it's so good for immune health, and it's going to raise the frequency of whoever it's put on or near, why wouldn't you want that on your newborn baby? Totally safe for a newborn. So a lot of times people will kind of get a little bit of Frank on their hands, just like I did a few minutes ago, and hold their baby with just the Frank on their hands. Baby gets all the benefits that they need. They've got a little tiny system, so they don't need a ton of the oil. You could even put it on your hand and kind of just rub over their head, over the crown of their head, and all down their body. Really, really good for that newborn baby. Helps them adjust to extrauterine life, because, you know, the womb is so warm and cozy and dark, and then they're here and it's bright and it's cold and it's loud, and so that just helps them be calm and grounded and raises their frequency, and we always want that to happen. Almost done, guys. So ingesting. Frankincense is an ingestible oil. Your frankincense is red like this in your kit. They also sell, Young Living is they. Young Living also sells Vitality frankincense, which is just basically a different label for the exact same oil that says you can ingest this, you can put this in your body. So you can put it in a capsule and down the hatch, and you're going to support your immune system, brain health, nerves, everything with this one little detoxification, all of that, with a drop or 5 of frankincense. And then also, last thing, eye health. I think that's the last thing, yeah. Last thing, eye health, so great for your eyes. So if you are at a point in your life that you're like, I need a little extra support in my eyes. You don't put the oil in your eyes. You just put a dab of it on your fingers and go around that orbital bone. So that orbital bone is the eye socket bone, right? So you just go here, and that is sufficient to affect your eye health, okay? So anything that has to do with eyes, anything, do it. And plus, it's going to help those little beautiful little smiley crow's feet lines too, because remember, embalming. Okay, so frankincense is a girl's best friend. You need to use it. Get that sucker out of your kit and just use it. You will be so glad that you did. You will fall in love with it just as much as we have. The smell is divine, and that's all about Frank. I don't know if anybody has any questions, so let me see. Elizabeth, you just put it on the roof of your mouth. Mondays are ridiculous. Oh, can you hear my daughter screaming? April uses it every day on her face. See? Great for healthy cells. That's what Jamie just said. And, oh, Amber's got a loved one who's going through MS screening, and she is going to give that to, that's so sweet of you to give that to her, your friend. Yeah, because number one, all of the nerve support that it gives, but also just the calming. I'm sure that that friend is a little bit stressed out with, you know, the treatment or the screening that she's undergoing. So frankincense is a gift that, well, gosh, I guess the wise men knew what was up, right? When they gave frankincense to the Christ child. Okay, I've got a child screaming. Apparently she needs some frankincense. So, yay. Glad you guys joined me. Thank you.